Prior to the hurdles progression, a warm-up was completed, which included 2 laps lightly jogging around the track and dynamic stretching. The following videos show both front and side views of hurdle drills for beginner hurdlers. When there's no voiceover, focus on listening to the rhythm of the athlete's feet. Enjoy!
In the A-skip, you want to look for your athlete's head to be in a neutral position with their eyes forward and standing tall. Their knees should dry high towards their chest, and their thighs should be parallel to the ground. Their foot should be in a dorsiflexed position, so the toes are pulled back and they have a strong supportive leg. Their arms should not pass their midline and should be held at an approximate 90-degree angle.
Similar to the A-skip, in the B-skip the athlete should have a strong supportive leg, their head and eyes should be neutral, and their feet should be in a dorsiflexed position. In the B-skip, their knee should be parallel to the floor with a pawing action of the leg pulling downward. Their foot should land under their center of gravity in a dorsiflexed position. Their arms should not cross the midline and should stay at a 90-degree angle.
When focusing on the trail leg, the ankle and knee joint should be fully extended before the trail leg is pulled through. The leg folds and is pulled through in a flat lateral sweep. The ankle should stay tight towards the bum, and the angle at the knee should be as tight as possible. The knee should not drop after crossing the hurdle, but be brought through high until the knee reaches a normal running position in front of the body. In a 200-meter race, the trail leg must be brought around in a higher position and is often described as bringing it under the arm. This requires specific flexibility work. During the flight over the hurdle, the athlete must swing their trail leg over the hurdle very quickly. When this is performed, there is a large angular momentum. The arm of the same trail leg will swing in the opposite direction. The trunk also turns slightly in the opposite direction of the trail leg. Because the trunk is bent over, which is seen in elite hurdlers, it has a large moment of inertia relative to the longitudinal axis. The angular momentum of the trunk along with the angular momentum of the arm are enough to counter the angular momentum of the trailing leg.
The lead leg is similar to the A, where the knee is flexed as tight as possible and the foot is always dorsiflexed. Furthermore, there is full extension of the ankle, knee, and hip joints for a strong support to keep the hips high for the trail leg to get around and to help the center of gravity be as close as possible to a sprinting action. By dorsiflexing the foot, the hamstrings are able to contract fully while the athlete is trying to flex the knee as tightly as possible. This allows the hurdler to rotate over the hurdle faster. The lead leg should be pulled under, as done in B-skip action, so the center of gravity is slightly ahead of the foot, which assists in running off the hurdle.
In the walkthrough, your athletes want to combine the techniques that they've learned from the A and B skip, while keeping in mind the cues they've been given for the trail leg and lead leg. This includes a high knee drive with a dorsiflex foot for the lead leg, and a lateral sweep with the knee keeping the ankle tightly tucked towards the body for the trail leg.
By this point, you want your athletes to feel comfortable with the A's, B's, and walkthrough exercises over the hurdles. Their technique for each drill should have limited errors to avoid creating bad habits. In the next segment, we will review common errors for a beginner sprint hurdler during the run-through. The first athlete demonstrates a good lateral sweeping motion with her trail leg, keeping her ankle tucked in towards her bum, but her lead leg does not go over the hurdle in a straight line. This error usually occurs because the athlete is too close to the hurdle at takeoff. To correct this error, mark a takeoff point further back than they are currently starting.
The second athlete has a great lead leg that comes straight up and over the hurdle, but she is using this action to jump over the hurdle with her trail leg as well. There is no lateral sweep. To correct this, the athlete needs to work on the extension of the trail leg, allowing a sweepy motion, and to focus on keeping their center of gravity lower over the hurdles.
The errors presented by these athletes were common mistakes made by beginner hurdlers. More technical errors and corrections can be found in the NCCP Technical Model of Athletics Canada.